Even now, when skin is not alone, it remembers being alone, and thanks to something larger, that there are travelers, that people go places larger than themselves. Naomi Shihab Nye. Hello and welcome to episode number 344 of Yoga with Melissa. Thank you so much for joining us as we journey into our innermost home today. Thank you for welcoming me into your home. Today I am at the top of Moss Rock, which is pretty close to our home. And it's a beautiful place where I can see pretty much all of Victoria, all of our surrounding area. So beautiful location today. And I'm going to have you start by lying on your back and placing your hands on your heart center. So you can go ahead and do that now. Lie down on your back and place your hands on your heart center. I want to thank Squeezed Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I'm wearing one of the new hoodies with the thumb holes, and it's bamboo, and this one has the tree of life on it. It's black with the purple tree of life on it, and I'm also wearing purple long leggings with the Om Mani Padme Om around the right ankle. And also thanks to Dusky Leaf for my props today. I'm not sure what props you're going to need, so I would have everything close by. I brought my strap and my blocks today, so that's pretty much all I'm going to be able to use. We'll start by coming together with our peace mantra. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that mantra means protect us together, student and teacher. May our studies nourish us together. May we work together for the good of the union of all. May our learnings be luminous and purposeful. May we live in harmony. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. So I have a testimonial for you today from Sonia via email, and she says, "Hi, Melissa, Tim, and Trinity." This was an email that she sent me in response to sending a donation. She said, "I decided to set up a monthly contribution to Yoga with Melissa after joining in online for around 18 months because I felt a need to show some appreciation for your contribution to my life. Last year, I underwent spinal surgery for spinal surgery. It was a lumbar decompression. She said, I did not make this decision lightly, however, have experienced some success and relief post-surgery. The one thing that gave me relief prior to surgery was Yoga with Melissa beginner classes. I would choose to do the ones that gave me the most relief and do these every day after work. Since then, I have continued to do my weekly yoga classes almost every week and continued to gain strength, confidence, and peace. After a suitable recovery period, I contacted a local yoga instructor and explained my situation and need for a considerate skilled yogi who could guide me through my poses with consideration for my physical capabilities. Did not receive a reply or invitation to their class once they knew my history. So I explained your classes to my physiotherapist who supported my participation in your online classes as long as I worked within the limitations of my own body. So I really appreciate that she was working in conjunction with her physiotherapist because then she would know, as she said, what she could do and what she couldn't do. Your classes make allowance for everyone to do what is right for their body, so thank you. I've just signed up for your August beginner challenge. So as of today as we're filming, we're on day 11 of the 31-day challenge. So congratulations to everybody who is working so diligently on the challenge. It's great to see all your photos and see you all working away at this. I know several of you are doing it, and it's amazing to see so many people involved this year, so many more than last year. So you can post your photos on Facebook or Instagram with hashtag Beginner Yoga with Melissa. And you can start anytime. So just send us an email and we'll put it in the show notes this week how you can get involved. So she says she just signed up for the beginner class challenge in August, and she shared it with her friends who promised to take up the challenge. I hope this challenge will help build my strength, and it definitely will build your strength doing yoga every day, but also there are specific classes for strength in the challenge and get me back into a regular yoga routine. I love the modifications you demonstrate and enjoy the natural delivery of the classes. Loving the new drone footage and enjoy the scenery locations of each class. I live in a small town in South Australia, and your landscapes continue to engage me as I am very much a creature of the earth. I look forward to each week's class and try to make sure that there is time on Sundays to do the weekly class. Oh, that's true, because the class would come out pretty much on, because we put it out at Friday at 9 a.m., so then it would be Saturday for her. So that would be a good time for her to do it Sunday. If I can drag myself out of the garden, she says. Thank you again, Melissa. Your dedication and commitment to my well-being is very much appreciated. So thank you, Sonia, for your testimonial, and thank you to all of you who take time to send me emails or leave a SpeakPipe testimonial on my website or on Facebook or Instagram, iTunes, YouTube, and of course our most in-depth discussions always occur in our membership community. Our poem for today is Two Countries by Naomi Shihab Nye. Skin remembers how long the years grow when skin is not touched, a gray tunnel of singleness, feather lost from the tail of a bird, swirling onto a step, swept away by someone who never saw it was a feather. Skin ate, walked, slept by itself, knew how to raise a see-you-later hand. But skin felt it was never seen, never known as a land on the map. Nose like a city, hip like a city, gleaming dome of the mosque, and 100 corridors of cinnamon and rope. Skin had hope, that's what skin does. Heals over a scarred place, makes a road. Love means you breathe in two countries, and skin remembers, silk, spiny grass, deep in the pocket that is skin's secret own. Even now, when skin is not alone, it remembers being alone and thanks something larger, that there are travelers, that people go places larger than themselves. So as you rest back with your hands on your heart center, we're going to do just a silent mantra to yourself, the Soham mantra. It's also known as the Swan mantra, because the Soham mantra is the I am mantra. It's the mantra of creation, and that's the mantra for Brahma, and the vehicle of Brahma was the swan. So her name, Hamsa, more accurately rendered as the wild goose, conceals a profound teaching in which the powerful mantra Soham, which translates as I am. The yogic mantra Soham is not only a reflection of the sound of the breath, but also carries the contemplative meaning I am that, Soham. So as you breathe in, you're going to say so. And as you breathe out, you say silently to yourself, hum. And it also refers to all of creation, the one breathing us all. As you breathe in, you say silently so to yourself. As you breathe out, you say silently hum to yourself. So it's a way to center yourself, connect to all that is, Connect to that which is breathing you. Connect to all of creation. And then stay lying on your back. And this time you're going to bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And we're just going to release your shoulders a little bit. So you'll just hold on to your shoulders, and with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, just lift your shoulders up and then relax them down. You're just going to lower your elbows from side to side. Breathe in the center. Breathe out and lower your elbows to the other side. And then circle your elbows. And circle them the other way. Keep breathing. And you can lower your hands down, your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Take one of your blocks and put it between your knees for good alignment between your hips, knees, and your ankles. And then press into your feet and lift your hips off the ground for bridge pose, so that you have, you're building strength in your legs. But also I was thinking about the lines in the poem, skin ate, walked, slept by itself, knew how to raise a see you later hand. But skin felt it was never seen, never known as a land on the map, nose like a city, hip like a city, gleaming dome of the mosque, and 100 corridors of cinnamon and rope. Slowly lower down, and you can take your knees and hug them into your chest. If you have any knee issues, hold on behind your legs. And then we're going to do this again, but if you can stay with the same version, or you can add more of a strength challenge, we're going to do one-legged bridge pose. So you can stay with two legs, or if you want to challenge your strength, you can extend your left leg. And then lower it down, and then we'll do that on the other side as well. So extend your right leg. And then you can slowly lower down and hug your knees into your chest. And again, hold on behind your knees. If you have any knee issues, stretch out your low back after that. Okay, we're going to be coming over and doing pigeon pose. So if pigeon pose bothers your knees, then I'm going to show you a modification for it. You can do eye of the needle pose instead. Here you would just cross your ankle over your thigh and draw your leg in like this instead. This can be a lot less pressure on your knees. So this is a great alternative to pigeon pose. You could do this instead. So if you're going to join us for pigeon, you can come on over onto all fours. And start on all fours. Spread your fingers nice and wide. You're going to tuck your toes under. Come up into downward facing dog. And you're going to take your right leg up and then bend your right leg through. Reach your left leg back and long. This is the most uneven surface I think I've been on in a long time. I'm trying not to mention it, but it is rather alarmingly uneven, which is actually good for your body to adapt to uneven surfaces. Okay, so you're going to fold forward and stretch out your hips here. And then we're going to step back into downward facing dog. So tuck your back toes under. So it's really good actually for your joints to work in uneven surfaces so that you're not always doing things the same way. So this is why I see my left leg is down, my right leg is up, so I get to experience things in my body with different alignments, and that's actually really good for me. So always doing things on smooth, even surfaces it just actually makes your body more prone to injury because your body doesn't get to adapt. So this is actually really good. So take your left leg up and your left knee forward, and then your right leg back and long. And then you're going to fold forward again. and we're releasing your left hip this time. Skin remembers how the years grow when the skin is not touched, a gray tunnel of singleness, feather lost from the tail of a bird, swirling onto a step, swept away by someone who never saw it was a feather. So I tried to choose as many bird poses as I could, and this is pigeon pose, so many of the lines in the poem speak about birds. Okay, and then from here we're going to come up and sit for alternate nostril breathing. So you can sit on a folded cushion or a chair. I'm going to sit on this block. Okay, for alternate nostril breathing, you'll take your left hand, bring your thumb and index finger together, extend through your 3 fingers, and place it palm up on your lap. And then with your right hand, extend your first 2 fingers, place that in the center of your forehead. And depending on what time of day it is, if it's the nighttime for you, you're going to start breathing in through your left nostril. If it's the daytime for you, then you're going to start breathing in through your right nostril, because it will be less calming for you, more energizing. So I'm going to teach this today as though it's the daytime. I always teach it starting with the left nostril, but today, since it's morning for me, and I never usually teach it this way, I'm going to teach it as though we want it to be a little more energizing, starting through the sun channel. Okay, so we're going to breathe in, close the left nostril with your ring finger, breathe in through your right nostril. Then close your right nostril with your thumb and breathe out through your left nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right, breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close left, breathe out right. And continue with that in your own breath rhythm. And I'm going to read to you the lines of the poem that I felt this related to. But skin felt it was never seen, never known as a land on the map, nose like a city, hip like a city, gleaming dome of the mosque, and the 100 corridors of cinnamon and rope. Love means you breathe in 2 countries. And the next time you breathe out through your right nostril, lower your hand down. And feel the effects of the practice for you. Notice how you feel after that. And then turn your left palm out at the level of your heart and your right palm in. Hook your fingers for the Ganesh Mudra. Okay, actually you're going to scratch that. Right now I am planning so many classes and thinking about so many classes because we're planning a trip to the Rockies. This is actually for Yoga with Melissa number 346 that's coming up in 2 weeks that we're going to be filming in advance in a couple of days. So I actually thought that this was going to be your mudra today. So you're just going to sit, actually put your hands back on your heart center like we did at the beginning with the Soham mudra. We'll do that for now. And I will read you the Two Countries poem again to start the teachings for today. Two Countries by Naomi Shihab Nye. Skin remembers how long the years grow when skin is not touched, a gray tunnel of singleness, feather lost from the tail of a bird, swirling onto a step, swept away by someone who never saw it was a feather. Skin ate, walked, slept by itself, knew how to raise a see you later hand, but skin felt it was never seen, never known as a land on the map, nose like a city, hip like a city, gleaming dome of the mosque, and 100 corridors of cinnamon and rope. Skin had hope. That's what skin does. Heals over the scarred place, makes a road. Love means you breathe in two countries, and skin remembers silk, spiny grass, deep in the pocket that's skin's secret own. Even now, when skin is not alone, it remembers being alone and thanks something larger, that there are travelers, that people go places larger than themselves. This poem reminds me of everything I learned during my training as a Phoenix Rising yoga therapist, teacher, and group facilitator, that our bodies are incredible sources of wisdom. Since our bodies have been present with us every moment of our lives, they hold all memories of our lived experience, good, bad, and indifferent. Just like the poem says, your body experiences your reality, feels what may never be seen, knows the unknown and untold parts of your story. Your body is intelligent and aware of every experience that happened in your life. Through the practice of yoga, you come to experience your body in a deep and profound way. You no longer separate your mind from your body. You become curious about the felt sensations of your physical experience and how they connect your emotions, thoughts, and energy. Instead of looking to external sources for answers, you begin to rely more and more on your own lived experience as your own truth. As my teacher Elisa Cobb says, awareness happens through your body. So reflect on these teachings and how they relate to your own life, and begin to form an intention for what you would like to receive from the rest of this yoga class today, your yoga class today. What would you like to create, sustain, or release from your life? And how can your yoga practice help you to do that today? Okay, so once you've formed your intention, you're going to come out of your seated position, take your hands off your heart center, and come into downward facing dog. And then from downward facing dog, you're going to look forward at the space between your hands, walk your feet into your hands, and come up to standing. And from standing, we're just going to do a little side bending for your spine. Take your hands overhead and inhale center and exhale side bend. Okay, then lower your arms down and you're going to take your feet wide on your mat, turn your toes out. We're going to do those wild geese arms where you're going to go like inhale up and then exhale, cross your arms as you sink down. So inhale up, exhale, cross your arms as you sink down. Inhale up, cross your arms as you sink down. So skin remembers how the years grow when skin is not touched. The gray tunnel of singleness, feather lost from the tail of a bird, swirling onto a step, swept away by someone who never saw it was a feather. Okay, and then I'm going to get you to step in and we're going to do Garudasana, Eagle's pose. So I'm going to give you some modifications for Eagle's pose. The first modification would be to stand with your feet together, your legs together, your elbows together and your hands together, and sit down in a squat pose here for Eagle's pose like this. And you would do the same thing on both sides for that one. Okay, that's a nice modification. Still working balance because you're bringing your feet together. If you want to join us for the balancing versions, you're going to stand on your right leg and you're going to cross your left leg over. Place your toes on the ground would be the first option. Foot on the outside of your right leg would be the second option. Or you can hook your foot all the way around would be the final option. Then you're going to bring your right arm up. Hook your left arm underneath it. Bring your right elbow tight into your body is the easiest for flexibility. And then hook your, okay, lots of options. First, hands together, backs of the hands together, or hook your hands. So whatever works best for you in your body, okay? And focus on something that's not moving. So Garudasana, eagle pose, great pose for balance in all the joints of your body, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. I gotta tell you, that's really hard to do up here because if you could see what I could see behind me, that like there's so much to see, and I can see over the whole horizon. I can see over the whole city. I can see mountains. I can see houses. I can see trees. So it's like hard to really focus on one point because my view is so expansive up here. So maybe that's what it's really like to do eagle pose. You should try and do eagle pose on the top of a mountain sometime and see what it's like. When you have such a big perspective. Try balancing an eagle pose that way sometime. Okay, let's try this on the other side. Remember, start building from the base again. This is how you build poses. Start with your feet together, elbows together, and squat. Squat nice and low. So that's your first option. Your second option is to stand on your left foot this time. Cross your right foot over. Place your toe on the ground. Or you can pick it up and put it on the outside of your thigh. Or you can hook your foot. Then you're going to bring your left arm up, hook your right arm around, back of the palms can come together, or you can hook your hands. So remember, you're working all the joints of your body here. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and you're working on balance here. And then release. So that side was much easier for me because I looked at the ground, but also I think this leg is much stronger. So notice, if you notice, what side was stronger for you, and just notice those differences in your body. Okay, so I'm wimping out now. I had put that I was going to do peacock feather pose, and I'm really not willing to do that up here. First of all, there's nowhere for me to balance against. There's not a tree or anything. Peacock feather pose is where you balance on your forearms and you kick your legs up in the air. Yeah, so there's nowhere for me to balance on. And also, I don't want to crack my head open on the rock. And so I'm going to show you a modified version of that pose that will build upper body strength. I chose it because there's all these versions of the feather in this poem, right? So, but let's do dolphin pose instead. So this is the build up to that pose. So you're going to come down onto your forearms with your elbows together. Okay, so your wrists should be equal distance from your elbows. And then you're going to tuck your toes under and come up onto your forearms. And we'll just hold here. Okay, and then you can release that down. Oh my gosh, those are so much easier. I've been practicing lots of upper body strength and hanging and stuff. I just have to say my upper body strength is getting so much stronger. Okay, then we're going to do a bridge pose. So lie on your back again. We're going to do bridge pose again because Skin had hope that when skin heals over the scarred place, it makes a road. And I was thinking about how bridges create those, they go over a place to... Bridges create bridges, like scars do. Okay, so what you're going to do is lie on your back. Knees bent, feet on your flat on the floor. We're going to do bridge pose again. You're building lower body strength. Repetition creates strength here. So press into your feet, lift up. And then lower down, you can hug your knees into your chest. And then you can either stay with both feet on the floor or press into your feet again and lift one leg up. And then switch. And then lower down. Hug your knees into your chest again. Okay, then hug your knees into your chest. And then take your arms out to the side in a soft T. Take your right leg long and your left leg bent. Press into your right hip and cross your left leg over so you're in a reclined twist. And then roll back onto your back, press into your left foot, untuck your hip, extend your left leg out, bend your right knee, press into your right foot, tuck your left hip under, cross your right leg over. And then you're going to roll all the way to that side and make your way up to seated. For a forward fold to finish, you're just going to bend your right knee in and extend your left leg out. You may want to place a blanket underneath your hips to elevate them a bit to help you to fold forward. Or if you're on a descending slope like me, you won't need to do that. Fold forward. I really like this hole here at the bottom of my... That was fun to play with. It was right with where my left leg was for downward facing dog. Good for my vestibular system, good for proprioception. And then switch. So extend your right leg out, bend your left knee. Lift up nice and tall. And you're going to fold forward over your right leg. Then you're going to sit up and you're going to rest back on your back for Shavasana. You're going to stay here and I'm going to sit up and read you the poem one last time. Two Countries by Naomi Shihab Nye. Skin remembers how long the years grow when skin is not touched. A gray tunnel of singleness, feather lost from the tail of a bird, swirling onto a step, swept away by someone who never saw it was a feather. Skin ate, walked, slept by itself, knew how to raise a see you later hand. But skin felt it was never seen, never known as a land on the map, nose like a city, hip like a city, gleaming dome of the mosque, and the 100 corridors of cinnamon and rope. Skin had hope. That's what skin does. Heals over the scarred place, makes a road. Skin means you breathe in two countries. And skin remembers. Silk, spiny grass, deep in the pocket that it is skin's secret own. Even now when skin is not alone, it remembers being alone, and thanks to something larger, that there are travelers, that people go places larger than themselves. So reflect back on your experience of your yoga practice, the poem, and this class, and see what stands out to you. What's one small thing that you're going to take with you off your mat and into your life? And then gradually allow your breath to deepen. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees. Roll to your right side. And slowly make your way up to seated. We'll finish our class today with the Loka Samasta Sukhi No Bhavantu mantra, gathering the fruits of your practice first into yourself and then offering them out into the world. Loka Samasta Sukhi No Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhi No Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhi No Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 344 of Yoga with Melissa. If you liked today's show, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody who would enjoy it, feel free to share it with them. If you're new to our channel, then you can subscribe because we put out a new free show every single Friday, and then it will show up in your feed. I put out a blog post every Monday to show you behind the scenes and also stuff what I do off my mat if you're curious about how a yogi lives off her mat, then that comes out every Monday, and every Wednesday I answer your questions. So feel free to send me your questions and I will answer them. Also, I share with you some of my friends from around the island. I interview them and stuff like that as well. Some other interesting things. That's on my Live Your Yoga channel, and that's on one of these things right here. Here. Thank you for your donations, Donna, Sean, Viola, Ricky Ann, Sakari. Your continued support allows us to offer this free show every Friday. As I say, this show is given freely, but it costs us to produce it and distribute it. So thank you so much for your support for that. It really helps us out to continue to do this. Today's question to answer in the comment is, what is your body telling you this week? So thank you for answering that question. And if you would like an infographic of my top 3 benefits of engaging in poetry, then go to melissawest.com/344 and scroll down to the opt-in box and type in your email address, and then we'll send you an infographic of my top 3 benefits of engaging with poetry. And if you would like more support in bringing awareness to your body, then I highly recommend our Introduction to Meditation series in our membership community. This is a 5-day series that will introduce you to meditation by preparing you for sitting, how to sit, how to be in your body, being with your breath, and also a candle gazing meditation. So there's a link to that in the show notes for members, and also you can click right here to become a member as well. I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. May you be as strong as our mountains, and may you be as rooted as the trees in our forest. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.